Hello again, this is Randy back in the shop today. Today I'm going to be working on line boring the cylinder on that Red Wing and hit and miss engine, and I believe I have it all set up. Had to make some 3/8 shims to go under my adjusters because I didn't have quite enough height, and I didn't have any 3/8 parallels or anything like that, so I just made some 3/8 spacers to put underneath the adjusters to get the center line height of the bore right. The plans show that the center line of the bore from the bottom of the motor has to be 6 5/8, or not 6 5/8, 2 5/8. So I'm going to bring it over to the lathe and I'll show you how I got this set up. This is my setup here. I've got strap clamps in the back here on the rear ears. I got these two here, and I got this top of this with a clamp across the top to clamp it to the table. And these are the spacers I had to make. I had to raise it up an extra 3/8 of an inch because in the plan it calls for the center line of the bore to be 2 5/8 from the base of the engine. So what I ended up doing is I took a inside micrometer and I mic'd from this plate here to the bottom of the shaft and added half of the diameter to set my height. And here's the cutter right here. And a gentleman from Australia, his name is Dave, he made a comment on one of the other, when I was working on this fixture plate, when I said I was contemplating how to do this boring bar, whether to use a round bit or a square bit. He suggested to me to put it at a 45-degree angle. So I got the hole milled in here at 45 degrees, and that way when I want to make an adjustment, I can take and put the micrometer on here just like that there, and I can make an adjustment. And that way, if I've got to take the tool out or anything like that to sharpen it or whatever, I'm able to make some pretty accurate adjustments that way. I made a couple runs through here and it seemed to be working really good. So I'm going to get this camera set up here. I'm going to make an adjustment to the tool, and then we're going to run through it once. Okay, I'm going to bring my tool out some here. Grab an Allen wrench here to loosen the Allen screw with. I got this set right up on there. I'll loosen this up. I'll take another Allen wrench. I'll push my tool back up against the micrometer there, and I'll snug this down like that there. Right now the cutter should be set for 9" 40, or 940 thousandths, 940 thousandths, and I've got to take this out to 1" 250. So I got to go to 1" 247 And that'll leave me 3/1000 to hone. So let's start this up here. Yeah. I got the carriage feeding away from the chuck. Turn this up. We can draw this back through. Turn it to the side here and run this in like that. And one other thing I forgot to mention, to help center this up, because these bosses here need to get machined later on to set the crankshaft center line, I just took a bunch of feeler gauges and I went in between to help center it up, and I took a square along here and to square it up the best I could. So now let's see here. Let's make another adjustment here. Let's go another 15, which will put it at 940. I gotta move my light here a little bit so I can see. See what I'm doing here. Loosen the bed up. Push it up against the micrometer. Tighten my Allen screw down. And we're there. All right, let's make another pass here. Okay. Now what I can do is I can loosen the tailstock up here. Try not to bump the camera if I can help it. Okay. I'm gonna have to move it. Hang on. Right there, there's the bore inside. Over here. We're not starting cutting all the way around yet. It's getting close. But so I'm going to make a few more passes on this and I'll be back. Alright, I've been working on this here some. The bore is 1 inch 235 and I just made an adjustment to the cutter, so I'm taking 4 thousandths, which would be 8 per side. Yeah, 4 thousandths total, which will be 8 on a diameter, which should put it at 1 inch 243. So let's get going. Now is the critical stage because I don't want to overcut it. If I have a couple extra thousandths I got to hone out of it, that'll be what it is. Okay, I'm going to move this camera here a little bit and I'm going to take a measurement. Okay, let's take a measurement here. See where we ended up. We're at 247.5, looks like. I'm going to put this in there again. What did I say? I didn't say. I said 242.5. Okay, I'm gonna take another measurement here. I think I said 247.5. It should have been 242.5. I was reading the numbers on the micrometer and it was on the 7. I got those mixed up. Okay. And we're pretty close. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm at 1 inch 242. I'm going to take 2, which would be 4 per side, or 4 total on the diameter. So I should end up at 246, which will be 1 thou under their desired size of 2 inch or 1 inch 247. I should end up at 1 inch 246. Okay, this should be it. Fingers crossed. I adjusted the tool out 2 thousandths, so that should be 4 thousandths per side. So we should end up at somewhere around 1 inch 246. That's it. Okay, I'll move this camera again here and we'll slide this tailstock back, move the motor out of the boring bar, and we'll take a measurement. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna slide this back just a little more. Okay. See where we ended up at here. Take another measurement here. Real close. Let's see here. Grab another mic. This one reads intense. 'Looks like we're at 247 and 7/10. So we ended up 7/10 over our target size, it looks like. Measure that just one more time here. I've gotten two consistent readings, but I just want to make sure. $247.7. So good. Now what I think I'm going to do, let me swing it around here a little bit. The spark plug has got to go here. I got to drill a hole for that. And in the top here, there's got to be a hole drilled in through the cylinder for a drip oiler. I think I'm going to do these two holes before I hone it, and that way if anything chips, hopefully honing it will take most of that out. Okay, now what I got to do is I got to machine the hopper opening. So I got to find center. It's got to be 2 1/4 inches long and 1 inch wide. center finder out here, and now I got to come up with it. I got to get a 1/4 inch end mill and a collet. Okay, I got to come over 1 inch, including the offset for the cutter. So let's see here. Okay, here we go. Right there. Okay. Now come over in the wide direction, 3/8 of an inch. Back the other way here. Looks like that opening was already pretty close. Just getting the corners a little bit. Now what I got to do is I got to find this edge, and I got to come back 3 5/8 to mill clearance for the drip oiler for the cylinder. So let's speed the mill up again. Looks like that'll clear. And that will put me directly over this edge. Zero that. Come over 3 5/8. So it's going to be 3 inches 6/25. Right there. Okay. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a 2-flute end mill, and I'm just going to plunge straight down and then back out to open up the hole. So let me find a 3/8 end mill here and I'll be back. I found a 3/8 4-flute center cutting end mill, so I'm just going to use that. I'm just going to plunge right straight down. This is to allow clearance for the pipe for the drip oiler for the cylinder. There we go. Right there. Okay. Now what I gotta do is I gotta drill 7/32 hole, I believe it is, all the way through the cylinder. All right, I got a long spotting drill here, and we're going to put a spot there, and that's going to be the drilled hole for the oiler. Should be good. All right, I had to make this tool here to hold that drill bit because the drill bit itself wasn't long enough. So let's get this put in the drill chuck here. Yeah, go down just like that. Yep, should work. Okay, here we go. Just broke through. So that'll be good. Put a little mark on the top of this here from the drill chuck, but all right, now what I got to do is they want you to tap that 1/4 40, but I don't have any 1/4 40 taps or dies, so I'm going to tap it 1/4 28 because I have taps and dies for that. I went and looked at my master car, and it was going to be like $150 for a tap and a die. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. So let's I got to drill it a 5/16 hole there, 312 thousandths deep, or 5/16 of an inch, and then tap it. Okay, here we go. deep. 200 deep. And 312. Right there. Okay. Yep. Looks like it is. Okay. Let me see if I got a tap long enough here. All right, let's see if we can get this tap started here now. Looks like it. Okay, back that out of here. Pull that out. This is a tap socket that I turned down to fit this recess here. This is a starter tap. So let me get a bottoming tap here and run that in there. All right, let's see if we can get this tap started here now. Looks like it. Okay, back that out of here. Pull that out. This is a tap socket that I turned down to fit this recess here. This is a starter tap. So let me get a bottoming tap here and run that in there. Let's see if we can get this back down in there. Yep. Would not want to break that off. That would be a very bad thing. I think it's my cap holder socket here breaking. Yeah. Oh boy. Now I got to get that out of there. I'll be back. Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. Got the hole in there and it's tapped. And I got the tap out with a 7/32 12-point socket. It just barely grabbed it enough to get it out. So, and I know I talked about drilling the spark plug hole before I honed the bore, the cylinder bore. But reading the instructions and looking at the blueprints and stuff, the piston is not going to come up that far. So even if it does chip the inside of the bore slightly when I drill it, it's not going to hurt anything because the piston's not going to come up that far. The piston's only probably going to come up to about here because it's only got a 2-inch stroke. So I think we'll be okay. All right. This machine right here, the Sunnen connecting rod hone, is what I'm going to use to hone this cylinder. I got a mandrel here with it's got stones on it here with brass guide shoes. And what you do is you set this cylinder up on here like this. And before you turn the machine on, there is let me get in here a little better. There is a gauge here, and you can use this dial indicator here. It tells you the amount of pressure that's on the stones, and you can also read roughly the material that you've taken off. And that's what I'm going to use to hone this cylinder with. Make sure you can see that good. Yeah, this is the gauge here that when I push down on the pedal, it registers plus or minus. And that's telling me how much pressure I'm putting on the actual part I'm trying to hone. So let's crank this thing up here. And we'll give it a whirl here. Let it go just a little bit. We'll take the cylinder out and we'll flip it around, and that will help you to keep it square. Put this back in here. Crank this up just a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to measure it with the gauge here, just to double check. All right, I'm going to put my little snap gauge back in here. And we're going to measure it with a micrometer here, see where we're at. We're at about 248 6/10 there. Let's see if it feels the same at the back of the bore here. Feels pretty close. Yeah, I'm a little big on the front, maybe a couple tenths. All right. Let's hone this a little more here. Take this out here and flip this around. Back those stones off. And we'll measure it here again. See where we're looking. Measure at the back of the bore this time, then I'll measure the front. Be nice if I had a dial bore gauge, but my dial bore gauge only goes down to 1.4 inches, so that wouldn't work for this. Yeah. Didn't really take out much of anything. Okay, we'll continue on. Shut this off. I'm gonna check, see how much pressure I'm putting on that. Okay. this around here. We'll measure it again here. See where we're at here. Okay. Go to the front here. The front's measuring about a half a thou bigger than the rear portion. Okay. We're getting close. I can tell you can feel when it's getting round. It's kind of hard to explain, but you can feel it when it starts getting round. Okay, let's check the front side here. Yeah, we're within probably 3/10 now, front to back. So let's give it a little more. Still got 1/1000th of an inch to go. We're at 240, 1 inch 249 right now. Okay, set this on there and check the pressure again. Okay. Is it recording? Yep. Well, that's going to be it for this part. I call this the end of part 2. The bore is all done on the engine. Got the hole drilled in the cylinder for the drip oiler. So now the next thing to do is machine this area for the mains of the crankshaft. Let me see if I can hold this up here so you can kind of see what that looks like a little bit in there, hopefully. It's got a nice little crosshatch in it, just like it's supposed to be. And this bar is a 1/2 under 1 1/4, 1 inch 250, and it slides right in just like that. Just like it's supposed to. I rechecked and I've got about 3/10 difference in size from front to back. It's about 2/10 small in the middle. So with the way that bar is and being able to stroke this, flipping it around, I couldn't get an even stroke all the way across on both sides. But 2/3 on this is not going to matter. Most performance, engine building, when they hone cylinders, why usually try to hit, like a 3/10 number difference from top to bottom, keeping the cylinder straight. It's really hard to do. It takes a lot of practice. It's mainly just doing it by feel. Nowadays they got computerized honing machines and that kind of stuff that do make it easier. It will compensate the stroke at the top and the bottom or in the middle to straighten the bores out. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Got to see the line boring action and a little bit of using the Sunnen rod hone to hone this. Basically anything that you got to put a bore in, from doing honing valve guides in like motorcycle cylinder heads and or kingpin bushings or connecting rod bushings, wrist pin bushings in connecting rods. That's what the machine was built for. I've had that thing for probably, I don't know, 15 years. So don't use it a lot, but there are times when the need comes up where that machine will do the job. When I bought it, I got 2 great big boxes full of different size mandrels and that kind of stuff for it. So I dug through there and I found one that would work. So yeah, this is coming along good, I think. So stay tuned for part 3. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope everybody's having a great day. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.